always told me to keep a small circle. Love thy hater, even though they hurt you. Positive vibes, natural highs. So I'm tuned in to live life in the purple. Shout out to M Love, this is real love. How I know, cause she always show him love. It's all love, art and poetry. Tune in, you about to witness history.
And the crowd goes wild. Why? Why would they go wild? Many, many reasons. Well, first, let me give you the top reason. You are now tuned in to IBNXradio.com network. And if it is a Tuesday, then that means that, and you're hearing this voice, and that means that you are now entering into the purple. So welcome to Live Life in the Purple, the most dynamic, the most high energy, high vibe radio talk show in the world. Our mission is to bestow upon you, the beautiful listener, 2 hours of pure positivity. I'm talking about music from the indie artists that are local and abroad. I'm talking about issues relating to today's entrepreneurs and today's entertainers. We've got it all. Industry news, inspiration, positive news, motivation, history, hope, interviews with awesome people, and yes, there may be some poetry. I don't know. But let me tell you who's in the room. To my left, there is a new voice. It's not new if you tuned in last week. Say hello to Catherine Knight. What's up, Catherine?
What's up, in love? I'm happy to be here.
All right. Coming on around the room. What's up, Miss Swagger M. Marilyn Pierce?
I am Swagger M in the house, and I am glad to be embracing my new name.
Yeah, she's trying it out. Once we explain what swagger meant, she's embracing.
Now I know. I understand what swagger means. So.
We've got another beautiful guest on the way into the studio as we speak. Omedia Keys, Mimi Keys is coming in. She's a filmmaker, and she's got something to tell us that is on the horizon. But I need you to give some love right now to who's in the studio, Miss Isna Tianti. What's up, Isna?
Hey, I am wonderful.
It's just too much behind your name for me to say. So, artist, entertainer, just wow, so many things you are. We're gonna unpack her.
She's an awesome woman. She's a beautiful leader, a poet, artist. I mean, there's so much to
everything.
You,
Thank you, guys.
we need multiple shows to cover everything you do.
Exactly. But we're gonna unpack these beautiful loves that have journeyed in to spend some time with us, one by one, carefully, and present them to you. So if this is your first time tuning in to Live Life in the Purple, thank you. Thank you so much for choosing us, because you have to find us. Okay, we're not on FM, just get in the car, we may be on. No, you have to find us. So thank you from wherever you're listening to or watching us. Thank you. If you always listen, thank you so much. If you forgot to listen, thank you for even having us in your intentions. We are thankful and grateful for every single thing we get. And we want you to know that. So we've got a lot for you. We are in Wakanda. Y'all know, assumed position. Come on now, give it to me. If you have not seen the movie, I'm so sorry. Except for A Friend's Love, I wouldn't have seen it either. So I'm with you on that. But we're gonna talk about it. That's what the Love Speaks subject is, and the only one speaks, talking about Wakanda and what it meant to us, and just the entire world. So let's get into that. Let's go to a commercial break and come straight back with Love Speaks, Wakanda Forever, History Has Been Made. We'll be right back. What's up, Facebook? Hello, my Purple Nation. Live Life in the Purple is pleased to announce its new sponsor. We are now supported by Purple Door Creations. Purple Door Creations is an incubator for creatives. 5 brands under one roof. Purple Door Creations, making the world beautiful, one dream at a time. Today is a good day to believe in yourself.
Need to catch up on past episodes? No problem. Live Life in the Purple is on Mixcloud and now on iHeartRadio. Choose your favorite way to enjoy Live Life in the Purple, because positivity, it's a movement, baby.
it never rushed. Ooh, you're more than just gold and dust. You're a diamond in the rough. I can't fight the feeling. You're a diamond I can't touch. I can't stop the dreaming. You a diamond in the rough. Ooh, you a diamond in the rough. You and I on my finger. You a diamond in the rough. La da 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 da. La da 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 da. You're a diamond.
It has been said that there's a time for everything under the sun. Well, right now, sit back and relax, because it's time for Love Speaks with Them Love. Wakanda forever! What can I say? The world has spoken. The entire world has spoken. The most anticipated movie of 2018 in the middle of Black History Month is Black Panther. It is a classic hit. It is also the 18th Marvel Comics big screen movie, all in the hands of a young man, Ryan Coogler. He had a $290 million budget. They trusted him, and he delivered. I enjoyed every single thing about this movie. I enjoyed the build-up. I enjoyed the extraness that our people put on. Now, you know we were going to be extra. If anybody didn't see that coming, I feel sorry for you, because I have seen it from all over the world, from Africa to everything, and I had some fun with it myself. But we did our thing. We represented. I think I don't know if the final numbers are in. The last time I checked, it was like $389 million over the President Day weekend this movie brought in, okay? I went off thinking about the little boys that's gonna go to school after the holiday's over doodling superheroes. This time they could see themselves as a superhero. Super important. Now, I love superhero movies. I would go to see a superhero comic, anything, before I would a serious movie. I have always loved them. I was front and center, yes, I'm going to date myself, for the original Wonder Woman when it came out, the TV show. I was there for Batman, the pow, zoom, zock. I was right there in front of the TV. Superman, Spider-Man, and the Hulk. I was there for all of it. And I loved, and I've always loved, the idea of justice. I've loved the idea that somebody was rooting for the little guy and somebody would make it right. I love the complexities of heroes and why they do what they do. Their gadgets was just a bonus. But this movie, Panther, blew everything out of the water and has set the bar so very, very, very high. Now, that being said, why am I so super excited about this movie? We're going to get into it. But I have actually seen very little negative comments online, mainly because I wasn't looking for them. Because if you look for something negative, you're going to find it. I wasn't looking for it. Because I know that given the opportunity, ignorance will speak up. So personally, what else was in it for the movie for me? Well, when I was a kid growing up, blaxploitation movies were on the rise. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, we're talking about movies that portrayed black people in a more gritty side of life, more city, maybe New York, Chicago, or whatever. But they were, the hero, always had a big gun, and he wore shades, and he was super cool, and he had a swag on him, and he had a nice walk, and all of that. He spoke in a language that was street and way back, laid back and cool. All the women were exploited sexually. Their boobs were either out to here, dresses up to here, or practically nothing on, and that was across the board. Either we were maids, or we were hookers, or we were strippers, or we were something, and that's what you saw when you went to a movie to see either a comedy or drama. That's what you saw mainly on a whole scale black people as. So here we are to the 2018, and we're seeing a super strong, intelligent black man that didn't swagger, he walked. His speech was exceptional. As a matter of fact, the character from the original Marvel series, if you follow cartoons, comic books, his greatest power of the Black Panther was his mind, his brain. He had a PhD from Oxford University, and he's considered to be one of the 8 smartest people in the entire Marvel universe. Okay, so that is Panther. Also, in this movie, the character's attitude about being king was different than you would see usually in mainstream movies. He was more serious. He was self-reflective. He felt burdened by his responsibility of being king. Like, I've got this power. I want to do what's right. A very good example for young men to see. And I love that he looked to his parents for advice. Yes, I love that he cried with his father. Yes, I loved seeing a strong black man show emotion. Wow. His level of empathy and his ability to admit mistakes and take measures to rectify past wrongs were admirable. Even in the villain, Killmonger, played by Michael B. Jordan, he was a rare bad guy with good points. His violence was for spite, and if you get into the story, you'll see why. But it was read as evil. But even in that, he was advocating against the privileged few and wanting to put power in the hands of the underprivileged and help the unlucky. And even in the end, when there was violence regarding the bad guy, he was shown mercy and he died with dignity. I mean, little things like that was respectable to me. Now, to the good part. The black women. They were the real characters. The director, Ryan Coogler, put women in the forefront of this story. They were almost in every scene. And, I'm going to ruin Lion King for somebody out there, but much like in the animal kingdom, the female wildcats hunt and maintain control. The women are in control of the throne in this society of fictional Wakanda. Yeah, not like Lion King. It's the women that were in control, and he brought all this different reality and truth to the role for these women. There were actual layers to these characters. What a concept. What a concept that black women come in all different sizes and shape. Yes, we look good with no hair. Wow, how about that? They showed strong versions of black femininity without being sassy. Nobody's neck moved. We weren't the ghetto black friend. We weren't the ghetto girl. We weren't the independent black woman that don't need a man. All these different elements came together and taught the entire world a new lesson. They needed to see that. And they didn't get killed off as collateral damage. Wow. Priceless for future generations to see. Also, they didn't need superpowers to be heroes. The women had no superpowers. Their powers was their mind, their brain, and their skill. And how about this concept? A superhero that has an army of women to help him. Crazy, crazy, crazy ideas just made this come out for women. The young genius in charge of it all, a young girl. The youngest sister was the brainchild behind everything of all the technological advances this society had. And I tell you, I really loved it. As a matter of fact, without the women of Wakanda, there would have been no king. And he knew that. He couldn't do what he did without their support. Amazing. Now, something else that was different for this movie, the white characters. They were in the minority, a number. And the one that did make it to Wakanda was there as an ally. He wasn't there to save the day. He was there to be told what to do, and he did it as an ally. I love that idea. I love that idea. just do what I tell you to do. I love them. Sorry. Anyway, um, it was interesting, and I liked the character, the way he played his role and did what his skill was. Amazing. Another thing that I loved about it: dark-skinned women. Dark-skinned women with superpowers. That was really big in Hollywood because in the past, for a woman of color, it was the lighter you are, the longer your hair, and all that stuff. And so here we see these beautiful, beautiful women that were generals, that were bold, with no hair, and that were really, really dark-skinned, gorgeous. Everything from the costuming, what our little girls are going to see, and this may, you may not believe this or not, but there are some kids who are ashamed to wear African garb because of the teasing, and they don't want to look different, where here they see an entire kingdom of African garb, colors, textures pulled from every tribe the woman could pull, all of the jewelry, everything represented a tribe that they could find from Africa, and they showed it beautifully. And then people came to the movie in their outfits and everything. Something to be proud of. Who would not go back to school and wear a kente cloth and not walk with pride after seeing that? So there's a strong possibility we can see a future where generations of black women and girls will live in a society where it's normal to see a majority black cast in a major Hollywood film. Now, I know this doesn't fix the problem. It's not even throwing a bone at it. This one film is not going to eradicate racism or fix gender issues or racial issues in America, but it is a step in the right direction. Our representation in pop cultures matters, and we can take that to the bank. That is key. That is key. Now, what about this fictional, back to Wakanda? One of the stars, Lupita, I loved her role in it. She said that in this land of fictional Wakanda, it encourages female power. She said it offers us a glimpse into the future, into the world as it could be. Self-determined and on their own terms, women are without the interruption of colonialism. Key point. Key point. Untouched, what could have happened? We don't know. But he had the budget to use his imagination and pull in resources and show what if. And I loved it. I loved it. The big issue that this film raised, Ryan Coogler used hidden high tech, this African utopia of Wakanda to explore some questions. He said the questions he wanted people to think about and get from this film is, what should people routinely exploited by a racist system do? Individually pursue their own success. He could have done that. The movie could have shown that. Band together and fight back, or find a third way. There was a writer, Van Newkirk. He wrote in an article about Panther. He said it fits into a long lineage of fantasy about black power, about how best to use that power. It's a hot topic because everybody seems to have a different idea of what to do. Here, you can watch the movie and later play with that idea and think about it. I love how they pulled in history, elders, older people, old women on the council, loyal to the family and tribe, literally everything. Now, I do have to give some credit. I read several different articles as well as my own reflections from author Spencer Kornhaber. He's a writer, staff writer on a magazine called The Atlantic. They cover pop culture and music, and I enjoyed reading his article and pulling from that to create this. We're going to take a quick break, a pause for the cause, and come back and wrap this all up in a nice bow with kente cloth. Be right back.
IBNX. IBNXradio.com. The station with the best music. Best music.
I love the music.
Best music.
Hey, what's up? It's Jay-Z.
Hey, I'm Mariah Carey.
Hey, it's Katy Perry.
It's your boy T.I.P., man. Get it. It's your boy Sean Kingston.
What's up, y'all? I'm Beyonce.
This is Nicki Minaj, and I'm in the mix with
IBNX Radio.
Okay, so we're continuing to talk about Wakanda. We're wrapping it all up. As you can tell, I enjoyed it. And there are beautiful, brilliant minds in this room. Some have seen it, some haven't. But that's okay. I also found in my reading and looking around that they are playing with the idea of an all-female Marvel superhero film. Yeah, that'd be hot. With Wakanda, using people of Wakanda. And they're going to also play an important role in the next Avengers movie. I watch that movie all the time. I love it. So yeah, I if you haven't seen the movie, get to, everybody's probably spoiled it for you, and I just added another nail in the coffin today. But I couldn't sit on this anymore. So as I said, we've got brilliant minds in this room that's here to sound off on this subject and give their reflections. Our guests are here. Can I keep going, or am I going to? Okay. We're going to go ahead and get into it. Sitting in front of me are two beautiful women. One just arrived. The room tilted because she's just so heavy with it. Hello. What's up? May I call you Mimi? Or Mitia? Mimi? That's okay. You're fine.
Mimi.
Say hello.
Mimi, hey, how y'all doing?
Give
Omega Keys.
Omega Keys, filmmaker, producers in the house. Yes. And sitting next to her is the beautiful Isna Tiante. Ladies, did you get to see the movie? What'd you think?
I did, and I loved it.
You did? Did you go dressed like you are today?
No, well, I have my crown on. I made a crown specifically for the event. Had on my Ghana beads and a black jumper, and actually met with my friend Kevin Mays, who is the head tailor of that movie.
Really?
Yes. So you will definitely need to have him on the show one day. But
that is awesome hearing that, because you know what, that film, from what I read, I saw two different numbers, but it brought, I think, $89.3 million to Atlanta. And I was looking for the Atlanta escape. A friend said that was with me said maybe they saw the Kennesaw Mountains in the background. I don't know where they were filming.
I can tell you because I worked on the film.
You did? That is hot.
Offline.
Offline? Okay. Okay. Awesome. So I'm gonna get the skinny y'all. I'm gonna get back to y'all. No, I'm not gonna do that.
I was about to tell them all because I know where they were doing it as well.
That is hot though.
Yes.
But now, is it just me? Were you excited about it? What did you get from it as a female, as a mother of daughters of young men?
All I will say is that I definitely was empowered. For so long, we have been made to feel that bald head, kinky hair, dark skin, big lips, wide noses were always something deemed to be unnatural, ugly, unacceptable. But this movie dispelled every one of those typings of what is the word I'm trying to use? Those stereotypes or those negative imageries that we have tried to push away from our cultures. And from our culture, rather. And I loved it. The mask painting, all of that. I was like, it was interesting how some of the verbiage that they use, like savages, and that's what we were deemed to be when we had the face paintings, but they were more civilized, and some of the verbiage that was used, like, I don't want to tell. There were some funny scenes in there that. And I'm sure you all, if you've seen it, you know what I'm going to allude to. And it's like, I'll have my children eat your, what was it? Your children?
My children eat you.
Yeah.
Who said that?
That was in the movie.
M'Baku.
I didn't get that. The big guy?
Yes. But then it's like, I'm sorry, we're vegetarians.
Oh, yeah. There was a lot of humor.
There was humor. There was truth. There was camaraderie, loyalty. It was so many elements to that movie that made me feel proud, and also lessons to be learned from the movie that I hope people walked away with.
Right. One thing I like, you don't have to kill. I mean, he killed with mercy and with reason, and and he used his mind to think, and like I said, the skills of empathy.
Yes.
Miss Mimi.
Yes, I saw it Thursday, first showing on Thursday. From working on the film, from being in the pre-production and seeing the locations prior to everybody being there, but it could not have prepared me for the beauty of seeing this on the screen.
There's a lot of CGI and stuff. So.
Not even that. Like half of that stuff was CGI, but it had a lot of practical stuff there too.
What does
What they
CGI
did-
mean?
Computer generated
Images?
Yes.
Okay, thanks.
imaging.
Imaging. Great.
It just could not prepare me for this. And since I am like a movie buff, since I am in the industry, this is what Black people have been waiting for since the first film, Birth of a Nation, in 1915. This is what we have been waiting for our whole lives to see.
Now, I was a teenager when Roots came out. I remember it. There was another point made that when we saw a film that was predominantly people of color, it was about slavery and being enslaved.
Yes.
So there was
None of that.
None of that.
None
None
of
of
that.
that. We didn't, no reminders
no reminders
of what we
It
already
was
deal
just
with
what
every
could be.
single day.
But
Exactly.
actually, it was a reminder of where we came from before enslavement, because
Yeah.
we were not slaves; we were enslaved, and there's a
Right.
difference.
Yes, our history did not start with slavery.
It was just crazy. I enjoyed it. I laughed so much
It
on
was.
Last since I laughed so much. Catherine here kindly showed me something that I didn't know. Tell us about what you've got there, Catherine.
Okay, well, I haven't seen the movie yet, and I'm looking forward to it. But I'm a big fan of Roxane Gay, who's a writer. Her memoir came out last year called Hunger, and I heard her speak at Agnes Scott. A friend gave me an invitation, or paid for me to go see her. I was such a big fan, and she is all about body positivity. She's a woman of color, and she has written a Black Panther World of Wakanda comic book that I just happened to buy last night. That I was
You didn't even know we were going to talk about this.
No, I didn't know. I knew the movie, of course, was just everywhere on Twitter and Facebook and everywhere, and I can't wait to see it. But I also wanted to read a little behind it when I saw my favorite author. I was like, well, this is the perfect, introduction to me for the whole concept. It's a beautiful book.
It is.
Yeah, it is. I wish you could put a cover on that. I wouldn't even touch it too more. I've handled it enough. 'Cause,
It's art. It is art.
it is art.
And I'm getting a copy when I leave.
I love it. I did want to. Marilyn enjoyed watching me get all excited about this and build up.
I haven't seen the movie yet. I will for sure. I had to stay and do things so others could go. So just so we know. But I'm really excited about the woman part. I find it interesting, and maybe you all could comment on this. I think it's cool that they did it in a superhero movie, which means you can go all out. We didn't have to be realistic about uplifting things that have been oppressed for so many years. You could just go all the way with every aspect, all those wonderful words that you used to describe the movie, and bring it out in every single way, because it was a superhero movie. And I think that was really key to being able to be the most creative and positive, and because you could say, well, it wasn't reality. Well, it very well could be, and should represent at least goals for reality. So I'm glad that it had the platform that it did of being, not a real place.
But the thing about it is he had the money. He had the funds to play with, to do that. Sometimes when we don't see stuff, they're limited. And it's the backers, it's the people that say, this is what we're going to give you to do. Marvel said, go for it. Go for it.
Just doing all that research. I loved when you talked about that in Love.
Oh, I
about
had so much more.
All the
I
different
just shut up.
tribal, the colors and the meaning of the beads and the paint and all of that. That capturing the aesthetic, the beauty, and the power in that, and the rituals around it. All of that, and it having all the differences represented in some way.
I learned
beautiful.
I added a new word to my vocabulary.
What's that?
Beside Wakanda.
Besides Wakanda, you gotta do this with it.
Sorry, Wakanda.
Must respect, man. ETHOS now. And I don't, ethos. Okay. The characteristic spirit of a culture, era, or community as manifested in its beliefs and aspirations. Kendrick Lamar took all of that and infused that into the music behind this. Only One will get into more of it in his Only One Speaks, but some of the rapping. He brought in artists from other Soweto and other artists from even other African tribes, and they rapped behind him, and it's just amazing.
But that's what I found very interesting, because I'm into textiles as well, and for the head designer Ruth Carter to go into every aspect of Africa, different tribes from north, south, east, west
Things
Africa.
we haven't seen. All we know is kente cloth.
Yes.
That's all we know.
That was phenomenal and was so ingenious of her to tap into that and bring that to the movies, because what most don't realize is what Africa has given to the whole world, and they got a chance to see it, and it was so beautiful.
So I laughed at people. I laughed at all the jokes about black folks packing food into the thing. And yeah, y'all did. But I understood why. And I breathed with it and rolled with it because it was time for it. And it's okay. Because when Comic-Con comes into Atlanta and people are walking around with wings on and all kinds of stuff, people take pictures of it and say, oh, wow, that's interesting. You know what I'm saying? Yes. So roll with it. And rejoice. And this is the way to enjoy life. Rejoice with people that rejoice, and cry with people that cry. And so we are rejoicing. We're having a good time. As I said, little girls and little boys are going to go to bed with different dreams, different possibilities in their hearts. And that means a whole lot for me, coming from rural Georgia. So yeah, I thank y'all for your kind indulgence and letting me just spout on that a little bit. I appreciate Anthony Top Dog Tiffith. He owns label owner for Kendrick Lamar. He took 1,000 kids from various housing projects in Watts, in LA, and it took them to see Black Panther. The school system bused them, and he paid for everything. Amazing. It is the most high-profile Black superhero movie to date. And so, yeah, thank y'all for joining IBNX Radio and Live Life in the Purple in Wakanda forever. We'll be right back with more Live Life in the Purple on the IBNXradio.com network. I'm grateful you chose to listen to Love Speaks. This segment was developed with your and my well-being in mind. Please follow me on social media. I am MLUVWALL on Facebook, as well as Live Life in the Purple on Instagram and LLITP on Twitter. Additionally, please make sure to like IBNX Radio on all social media. Hey, remember, when things get tough for you and you want to give up, no pressure, no diamonds. Happy living and peace to you.
Listening to IBNX, IBNXradio.com. The station with the best music. Best music.
I love the music.
Best music.
Hey, what's up? It's Jay-Z.
Hey, I'm Mariah Carey. Hey, it's Katy Perry.
It's your boy T.I.P., man. Get in. It's your boy Sean Kingston.
What's up, y'all? I'm Beyonce. This is Nicki Minaj, and I'm in the mix with
IBNX Radio.
With a drunken style, amoeba cut the shuffle while I jaywalk like a bullet yard, equator north like an unhinged George, a directory, semi-century, lose memory, journeying many times under par, the spark from entry. Can it be my first time capsule repeats when I wrote this piece? I hear them beckon me, keep asking for the recipe. Had to rise in the east, then increase speed and continue to rise via telepathy. This vessel heavy, journal outward like herniated skylines from my pen intentionally. You getting me? I'm dead to me. I am the memory in every fractal quantum entanglement. I've been busy dangling a stopwatch, the angle bent. Half the 90, my 7 prime. I've been rhyming for some time. So 9 out of 10, dentists approve. I'm longer than 2. Check my K9. Do tell more, Willis Elmore. Perhaps you're the one they've been looking for. Isos topos, microscope the ear, nose, and throat. Quotables, notice no pop in the vocals. Soapbox roll. They asking about Los Locos, residential locals. asking about me. Curiosity Mars coordinates, sitting 2 below my last celestial trip, fingerless prince. Well within the plane of the ecliptic, Euler angles, right ascension and declination between devil and angels. I am permanent, scripture, extinct tournament, temporal mandibular joint. 6 degrees of freedom leads scowling compass point. Now I'm lifting Egypt to rest in Eden, speeding through seasons without a reason to die. Civilized but hide the Jekyll inside. Sight beyond unidentified flying objects. Here I am, a human project, but will it sell more? I don't think so. With this quadruped type of ink flow, way too high in the totem pole to stoop low. Typo, positive, rare form, cognitive. I fought to live, so let it be known. This plot's in stone and it has no give. Capital highly invested power, capital honoring original purpose. See you on the other side when you're ready to ride light years above the surface. Surface, 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 surface.
So much going on in Atlanta. Wow. If you don't live in this city and wherever you're listening from, literally any night of the week, you can find music, you can find poetry, you can find some form of the arts. And the world's eye is still on us for things relating to black culture and civil rights and things like that. One of our guests here today, I'm so happy to meet you, Miss Amiga. Thank you. Mimi, can I stick with Mimi? Yes. Mimi Keys.
Oh, bye.
Okay, yeah. Mimi Keys. She's a filmmaker and a producer, and her new film, From Jim Crow to James Crow, a social documentary, is coming out this coming weekend. And first of all, before I forget, shout out to Diamond Enterprises. We appreciate you coming in.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm just happy to be around some positive vibes.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yay.
Before you get started, I need you to reach into this little bag and pull out, it's called Speak On It, and read what's off that page. And if you feel so inclined, give us your opinion on that, a minute or less.
If you don't like it, you get to pass it to someone else.
Oh, shoot. Speak on it. If you are not losing friends, then you are not growing up. Otherwise, that means you are staying the same and you're not evolving and you're not moving and you're not doing things if you're not losing friends.
That's right. You are still the same as when you met them. So if you met them in high school, you're in the same mentality and all y'all in the same space and place. Because life, it changes, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So thank you for that. That being said, what's up?
What's up is this premiere for From Jim to James Crow this weekend. This has been such a journey because I never saw myself doing documentaries. I'm such the fiction person. But with everything going on in the world, I had to speak out and show us.
Please take it back one step. Jim Crow, what is that? What does that mean?
From Jim, everybody knows about Jim Crow, everything, but people feel like once the signage was gone, we're up out of that. No, we just transitioned into James Crow. James is where we are right now, the more refined three-piece suit.
Right.
Oppression.
Wow. Okay.
The microaggressions, everything.
Right.
And we still have all those people that are still alive that lived through Jim Crow that we tend to overlook it and be like, oh, that was so long ago. But we have these same exact people still living. My dad was born in 1935.
You don't look that old.
Wow.
Wow, that's remarkable. So he's been through and still understands and considers and sees it.
Yes.
I think that when you experience it in your life, it's easier to see it, whereas some of us, white people included, are not easily able to see.
We're like, y'all guys are like, everything is fine.
Right, everything's, what are you talking about? So I appreciate that you have taken what you've taken, and I've only seen the trailer, and I want to see the movie, the film, and put it into a film, medium. Tell me, how long have you been doing this? How is this your first film or?
No, I started making films. Well, my first film was in 2015. That was actually a web series called Donors. It's just it's actually backstory on some books that I wrote about vampires in this alternate world, and I just wanted to get some backstory for my start. But then last year I actually released my first feature film, which is Domestic Seduction. It's out on Amazon right now. That's a crime drama. So I'm doing stuff that we normally don't do.
That's exactly what I was
You're
thinking.
doing the scary stuff.
Yes. Where are you from?
And I do-
Yeah, 'cause
I do
we're
some
not
of
doing vampires. I'm
everything.
afraid of vampires.
Yeah.
Don't even come for me with that. Okay. Where are you from, Max?
I am originally from Indiana, but
Okay.
I have lived all over because I was in the military.
Thank you
I
for
was
serving our
too, sister.
Thank you both for serving our country.
Wow.
Thank you.
So this, the information I'm looking at was inspired by events around NFL player Kaepernick.
That was the fuel.
Okay.
Dealing with everything in life was the, them embers down there burning and boiling, and just so much of the racism that I experienced while in my uniform, while wearing my uniform, telling me in this day and age, you still don't have the right to have that uniform on.
Really?
Yes, people are still like that. It's just so much, all the killings of Tamir Rice's, so much going on. So when he stood up and took a knee, which is taking a stand, and I was online with somebody that I went to school with. I went to, elementary school. I went to private schools. Basically, I was one out of 3 black folks in that school from kindergarten up until, 8th grade. I mean, I left at the 6th grade because I could not, at that age in the 6th grade, I knew I needed to leave that school. Really? Because at 11 years old, I knew I needed to be in a public school to see more people like me because it was driving me crazy. But anyway, Kaepernick, he took a knee. Somebody that I went to school with was like, he is disrespecting the military. I got people in the military, and he is disrespecting the military. And I was like, you got people that served in the military, and that's disrespecting the military for real? Well, I served, and that's the most patriotic thing that you can do is take a knee for this country, because that's what this country was founded on, was standing up and taking back our power from someone else. So you're saying, but now, not now.
I think that
That's powerful.
Let's call it out. The media did a really, really good job of muddying the waters.
Of course.
So that people would not understand what this really was about.
Yes.
And that,
I have to interject because I used the same comeback. I said, I served for people like you who say it was disrespectful. Mm-hmm. I said he had every right. I said, when my son played football, they take a knee when someone is injured.
Exactly.
They're taught to take a knee.
I didn't know that.
Oh,
I don't come from a sports.
Someone gets hurt
background.
out there on their team or on the other team, the whole team takes a knee. I said, so how then is this now deemed disrespectful? Yeah. He's not out there throwing the football. He's not doing anything disrespectful. We bend when we pray on knees.
Right.
So how is that now? That stands deemed disrespectful.
Exactly.
It's the most vulnerable state. There you go.
We take a knee in the military.
Really?
Yes.
Did you guys know anything about that?
Yes.
I'm the only one? Okay, I'll take that. Wow. I did not
It
know
never
that.
seemed the act of it never seemed disrespectful to me. I mean, M. Love, you said earlier, white people are like, well, it's okay, but it's complicated. It's not okay. A lot of white people do see it's not okay.
Oh yeah, it's really hard to speak in generalities.
Yeah,
because I know.
Well, it's real. I mean, many white people do think that is disrespectful and unpatriotic, and there's racism that's so real, and then calling it out is necessary, and calling out police brutality, school to prison pipeline, all of that stuff. Seeing them, I mean, every American needs to see the movie 13. Mm-hmm. There's all kinds of education that has not happened while the civil rights movement has marched along, right? And so, sure, I think your movie sounds really, really topical and perfect for giving a voice to that.
I didn't take the easy road, just so you know, and just dealing with Black people or white people who were for this either. I went to a lady's home who was proud her family owned slaves.
Mm-hmm. Okay. How did you handle that?
I had to step upside myself and go into military mode because I had very, very many racist commanders.
Yes.
And you got to sit there and you got to take it, and you can't even show it on your face. You can't. So when I went into that zone.
That mode.
Yes. And she tried to goad me many times. I have my son was my cameraman. He's 25 years old and wanted to be a big part of this experiment because he's prior service as well. And so, but, you know, since he's from a different generation, that in your face right there, it was, but since he had been in the military, he too sat and he took it. But once we stepped outside, now, and my mother came too. My mother was like, I'm not letting you go to this, you know.
So this is a family affair.
Yeah, well, I went up to Indiana for this interview. And like I said, she was very proud of her family owning them, and just
it was a way of life.
Yeah, and it's no big deal, and you know, the whole, you know, as far as Kaepernick goes, he just needs to stand up and all this other. I mean, I sat there and I took it to get what I wanted about of it for the thing, but you know, but I had to do all type of sage burning and everything after that.
Yeah,
I love that.
That's some evil.
One last line. I loved it. You said, as a filmmaker, I'm able to make my voice and others bigger. I hope by inviting the hard conversations that will invoke change and educate those who don't know the true history. We're gonna, Mimi is gonna stay around with us. You're gonna hang out with us.
Yes, ma'am.
The film is From Jim to James Crow, a social documentary, and it debuts Hudson Grill, 942 Peachtree Street, Atlanta, this weekend. The doors open at 3:30 for the meet and greet, and the premiere begins at 4:30 p.m. Mimi Keys, don't go anywhere. We want to hear more from you. We've got more. We've got History Speaks, and I want to hear from Rodney Williams, our other team member with History Speaks. Live Life in the Purple on the IBNXradio.com network.
Thank you for tuning in to the IBNXradio.com network. Stay tuned for more positive programming with M Love and Team Purple on Live Life in the Purple. Positivity. It's a movement, baby.
This is Rodney Williams, educator and social activist. You're listening to Live Life in the Purple on the IBNXradio.com network. Positivity. It's a movement, baby. Greetings. This is Rodney Williams, educator, social activist. I'm one of the original members of the Black Panther Party for Self-Defense out of Oakland, California. Welcome to my segment, History Speaks. If race has no history, it has no worthwhile traditions. It stands in danger of being exterminated. That's Carter G. Woodson. We're going to begin this segment with shout-outs of happy birthday to quite a few notable African Americans, so let's get started. The first African American certified architect, first African American member of the American Institute of Architects, Paul Revere Williams. Happy birthday. Practicing largely in Southern California, he designed the homes of numerous celebrities and many public buildings, notably the 28th Street YMCA there in Los Angeles and St. Jude Hospital there in Memphis, Tennessee. Famed Pulitzer Prize and American Book Award winner, awarded the Nobel Prize in Literature, recipient of the PEN Saul Bellow Award for Achievement in American Fiction, and the Presidential Medal of Freedom, Chloe Wolford, otherwise known as Toni Morrison. Happy birthday. American writer, feminist womanist, librarian, and civil rights activist, best known for technical mastery and emotional expression as well as her poems, Audre Lorde. The Soul Queen of New Orleans, contemporary of Aretha Franklin, Grammy Award winner, Irma Lee Thomas. American singer-songwriter, record producer, and former record executive, founder of the Motown vocal group, we remember the Miracles, William Smokey Robinson. Happy birthday. American ballet dancer, the first African-American ballerina to become a principal for a major dance company there in Houston, Lauren Anderson. The first black actor to win an Academy Award for Best Actor and Golden Globe Award for Best Actor, Bahamian American, Miami native, Sidney Poitier. Happy birthday. American jazz singer, song stylist with more than 70 albums and 3 Grammy Awards, the consummate actress and complete entertainer, my shero, Nancy Wilson. Happy birthday. Retired American professional basketball player and all-star MVP, he's current an analyst on Inside the NBA, Charles Barkley. First African-American to earn a PhD from Brown University, the first African-American appointed to the United States Atomic Energy Commission, marine biologist and academic, Samuel M. Negret. American singer-songwriter, pianist, arranger, and activist in the civil rights movement, Eunice Whalen. We know her as Nina Simone. Happy birthday. American lawyer, educator, politician, and leader in the civil rights movement. We all know him, the first African-American elected to the Texas Senate, Barbara Jordan. American politician and prominent civil rights leader, the John Lewis. Happy birthday. One of America's first civil rights activists, a long time ago. He became known as a top cricket and baseball player in 19th century Philadelphia, educator, intellectual, and civil rights activist, Octavius Valentine Cato. American painter, lithographer, and cartographer, the first African-American artist to create works depicting the Pacific Northwest and California, Grafton Tyler Brown. American ragtime and early jazz band leader, arranger and composer, a leading figure in the African-American music scene there in New York City in early 20th century, James Reese Europe. Retired American basketball player, best known for popularizing the modern style of leaping and playing above the rim, Julius Dr. J. Irving. American poet, novelist, essayist, playwright, editor, and publisher, best known for his satirical works challenging American political culture, Ishmael Reed. And finally, author of the critically acclaimed Man-Child in the Promised Land, Claude Brown. Continuing, some notable achievements include following the first Pan-African Conference of 1900 in London, a series of 7 meetings that gained reputation as peacemaker for the decolonization in Africa, the Pan-African Congress was held in Paris. Inventor George Washington Murray was awarded the patent for the fertilizer distributor. Another inventor, John F. Pickering, he received a patent for his new design on the airship or the blimp or launch of great strength and durability, the blimp. And inventor Otis Boykin was awarded a patent for an improved wire electrical resistor, a low-cost product manufactured less expensively and better equipped to withstand extreme temperature changes that is used in electronics products today, computers, radios, and TV sets, the United States military, and IBM. NBA Hall of Fame, Wilt Chamberlain, he set the record for most free throws attempted in a single season, 1,363, during the 1961-62 season. Finally, challenging prejudice that prevented African Americans from pursuing careers in medicine, Rebecca Lee Crumpler, she became the first African American woman to earn an MD degree. And finally, this segment concludes marking the passing of American jazz trumpeter Lee Morgan. Some of us remember he was shot and mortally wounded at Slug Saloon, a jazz club in the East Village, aged 34. Famed children's book author, National Book Award, and Newbery Medal winner, Virginia Hamilton, aged 65. She published more than 75 papers on cancer, chemotherapeutics. She pioneered methotrexate to treat skin and breast cancer, pioneering cancer researcher and surgeon, Jane Cook Wright, aged 94. The first African-American to play quarterback in the NFL, I believe it was with the Chicago Bears, Willie Lawrence, thrower, aged 72. Hall of Fame inventor, businessman, best known for his portable air conditioner cooling refrigeration units for trucks and trains, Frederick McKinley Jones, aged 68. American minister and human rights activist, a courageous advocate for the rights of African Americans, he indicted white America in the harshest terms for its crimes against black Americans, Alhaj Malik El-Shabazz, better known as Malcolm X, aged 40. Going way back here, former slave who commandeered a Confederate ship during America's Civil War, the Robert Smalls, aged 76. And finally, 10 years after the death of his mentee, Malcolm X, The religious leader who led the Nation of Islam, Elijah Muhammad, aged 78. And I'm going to finish up with the first to receive the MacArthur Fellowship, a multiple recipient of both the Hugo and Nebula Awards, American science fiction writer Octavia Butler, aged 61. Thank you for listening to History Speaks. We're certain that you found this information valuable. You can find me on social media at Rodney Williams on Facebook. And please, keep listening each week as we bring you more facts about our history. Remember, if you don't know where you came from, you aren't going to know where you're going. This is Rodney Williams, educator and social activist. You're listening to Live Life in the Purple on the IBNXradio.com network. Positivity. It's a movement, baby.
Hi, this is Robbie Riegel, and you're listening to M Love and Live Life in the Purple. Positivity is a movement, baby.
Welcome to Positive News, a place to hear the news that brings a smile, focuses on accomplishments, and sheds light on positivity in our world.
Yes, we are glad
We hope that you enjoyed Positive News
and that the story. We are glad to have positive news in the world, but here in Atlanta, let's talk about Atlanta. We are a hub for human trafficking here. This means that there are people everywhere in Atlanta who would and could possibly be someone who has been or is being trafficked. Would you recognize someone who's being trafficked? Well, an American Airlines employee was quick thinking and helped to thwart an alleged human trafficker's plan to lure two teenagers to New York. The two girls, who were 15 and 17, claimed a man had bought them tickets to New York to model and dance in music videos. American Airlines employee Denise Miracle became concerned when the two girls approached the ticket counter at Sacramento International Airport. The girls had no ID. They were traveling alone with just two small bags. They had two first-class tickets, but she became particularly alarmed because the girls had one-way tickets. Between the two of them, they had a bunch of small bags. It seemed like they were running away from home, Miracle said, and they kept looking at each other in a way that seemed fearful and anxious. I had a gut feeling that something wasn't right. So she refused to allow the girls to board their plane and alerted the police. The girls told authorities they met a man on Instagram called Dre, and he bought their tickets and offered them $2,000 to fly to New York for the weekend to model. They hadn't told their parents about the trip, and they both told their parents that they were staying at each other's house that night. So everyone was shocked, and the children as well were shocked to hear that their tickets were one way. When the flight attendant told them that they didn't have a flight home, that's when it kind of sunk in and they realized that there was something wrong. By the time the authorities looked for Dre on Instagram, he was gone. It was too late. So they said they attempted to look him up, and just a few minutes after after contact with him, he erased all his profiles. So the deputies said when they notified the girls' parents, they also were in shock. They hope the story is a good lesson for parents to make sure they are keeping a close eye on their children's social media accounts. And kudos to this awesome American Airlines worker who helped to save these two girls' lives. Grateful. So stay alert. You just never know. Another story, a quick one, is did you know that your debt is for sale? Your DEBT is for sale. Well, after hearing a Washington State medical debt story for an investigative report, a Seattle news station, KIRO7, decided to do something about it. The news station worked with New York-based charity RIP Medical Debt and bought $1 million worth of medical debt, which was owed by viewers in their area, for $12,000. So 1,000 people will be getting letters in yellow envelopes that say that KIRO7 took their debt and their debt has been forgiven. We need to keep in mind negotiations. There's solutions. There's not only two options in life, horrible and what we think is okay. There's always a way to wiggle out of things, and debt is for sale. So finally, I wanted to bring up one about that kind of goes along with the school shootings. As a parent, you may feel that you have to consider ways of teaching your children to be safe at school. And I know as a parent, if I had children now, I'd almost be considering sending them to school with bulletproof vests on. Well, there is a man in Batesville, Mississippi, who is educating the public on how school textbooks can be used as body armor during the shootings. One of the best defenses our kids have is right there in their hands in these backpacks with their government-issued textbooks. Ricky Ray said he posted 2 videos in which he fired high-powered guns at backpacks full of textbooks, and in both instances, the bullets failed to penetrate through the textbooks. Ricky said he decided to make the videos public after making them to educate his own children. I did this to educate my children, and I hope it can do the same for yours, he wrote on Facebook. They are not meant to provide scientific information regarding the use of books as body armor. It's just meant to demonstrate the need to use the resources available in order to provide just another level of protection. And I want to thank M. Love today for inviting me to have this segment of Positive News. It was her brilliant idea to bring positive news to you, and we appreciate your attention. Thank you.
We hope that you enjoyed Positive News and that the stories put a smile on your face. We here at Live Life in the Purple encourage you to be inspired to create your own positive news in the world. Positivity, it's a movement, baby.
Hi, y'all. This is Catherine Knight. I'm an aspiring beginner stand-up and a mental wellness warrior. This Sunday, February 25th at 7 p.m. at the Punchline in Buckhead at the Landmark Diner, there'll be a graduation showcase. It's all women. I'm participating. It's almost all blue comedy, which is ranging between racy and raunchy. A lot of Amy Schumer fans, apparently. But anyway, it's going to be great fun for the adult set. And right now, you are riding the purple waves with IBNX. Live Life in the Purple with M. Love. We are coming up more. We have more from our guests, filmmaker and producer Mimi Keys, and artist and entrepreneur Isna Tianti. Please make sure you like and follow IBNX on all social platforms, as well as Live Life in the Purple. Positivity, it's a movement, baby.
Yo, let's go. It's going down March 16th.
That's right, baby.
Drop it. It's gonna be an independent concert live at the crib, baby, at H2 Studios. With live performances by Ripper the Kid, Orion Pax, Fame, Louis Lou, Jay Mazur, Shawnee, Frank Castle, Tippy, A Rare Breed, Remas, Morizy, and more. $20 tickets on sale now. Be there March 16th, live at the crib, H2 Studios. It's gonna be a movie, baby. Brought to you by 89 Till.
Hi, this is Aaliyah. I listen to Live Life in the Purple with M. Love and Team Purple on IBNX Radio Network. Positivity, it's a movement, baby.
All right, we have definitely reached the top of the hour. Thank y'all for tuning in. And if you have just tuned in, you have got your ears turned on to Live Life in the Purple on the IBNXradio.com network. This right here is a little segment what we call Only One Speaks, where, yes, I will be speaking about the new album. The new album from where you ask? The Black Panther movie. First hip-hop album for full comic film, which is huge for the hip-hop industry. And not only that, Black Panther, salute. Not only did it come out on Black History Month, it shattered box office records. The budget for the movie was $290 million. The first 2 days, they raked in a total of $235 million. Let me borrow $1. Now, with this album, You know, everything about it is with the African heritage, Wakanda, you know, which is a fictional place in Africa made up. You know, they needed some incredible music to go along with it. So shout out to my homie Kendrick Lamar with Top Dog Entertainment. He was put to executive produce this whole album, which is really unheard of when it comes to not just a Marvel film, but a comic film, period. Because we all know when it comes to these comic films, they tend to be the biggest box office selling movies just because of the history behind it. So I do want to give y'all an insight on the actual album. It's called Black Panther, the album, and it is hosted by Kendrick Lamar, SZA, 2 Chainz, Schoolboy Q, Khalid, Sway Lee, Vince Staples, and a host of many, many other incredible talented artists. Now, I have some better news for you. Now, what I just realized is Black Panther, the album, earns #1 spot on the Billboard 200. That's right. Give me my claps. Cue my claps in. Cue my praises in. We went #1 on the Billboard. Not only the Billboard, but in the blockbuster realm as well. Salute to Black Panther. I want to thank everybody who has something to do with this incredible movie. Myself, I went to go see it, as well as my daughter, M Love. Salute to Johnny. We all went to go see it. We had an incredible time. The movie was amazing. I was even thinking to myself, it's one of the movies that I may even go back and support for a second time. So yes, in Black History Month, Black Panther, the first black superhero, Marvel superhero, I'm gonna say, because, you know, I don't want people at my neck, but the first black Marvel superhero makes history, not only on the soundtrack, but on the movie. This is what we can do as black people when we come together. Not only as black people, but Americans as people, period. So I want to thank everybody, because I promise you, I've seen all different shades inside the movie theater when we went to go watch the movie. So I want to thank everyone who supported this film. Not only the film, who supported the album as well. My daughter even downloaded the album on her Spotify playlist. So again, salute to Kendrick Lamar, salute to TDE, Top Dog Entertainment, which is his label, along with Schoolboy Q, SZA. They killing it right now, not just with this particular album, but just in their careers, period. So we definitely want to double salute you. We also want to salute the actors, Chadwick, as well as Michael B. Jordan. Y'all came through, and the beautiful ladies in that movie. Oh my God, it was amazing. So I want to thank everyone again for supporting the film and supporting Live Life in the Purple. And you know, anything that deals with positivity, we own it. We not gonna let it breathe. We gonna suffocate it. So again, this is Only One Tippy. Thank y'all for tuning in to Only One Speaks. Salute. Wakanda forever.
What's up, world? It's your girl, M Love, host of Live Life in the Purple, this fabulous energy that comes to you every Tuesday from 2 to 4 on the IBNXradio.com network. Let me tell you who's in the room. To my left.
Hi, this is Marilyn Pierce, and I am the host of the segment Authors Speak, where we learn about authors and their journeys to entrepreneurism. And to my left, I have...
Hey, hello? Is this on? What's up, man? This your boy, Only One Tippy, associate producer with Live Life in the Purple, every Tuesday from 2 to 4. And to my left, we have...
Rebel Queen, a.k.a. Ty Davis, host of Hope Speaks. My show is all about inspiration, baby. I'm on Team Purple, living life in the purple.
And we do this every week because...
Positivity is a movement, baby.
What's up? This is Yo Sister. I live life in the purple with M Love and Team Purple on IBNXradio.com network. Positivity. It's a movement, baby.
We played.
Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to bring to you South Carolina's own Moody Black.
Yeah. I'm just
Come on, bro.
Let's get it. That shit before we drop it on you.
It's Moody Black and yo sister. I see you got 2 eyes, your third ain't looking from upstate. South Cac, I bring it to the A. They heard we dropping knowledge, me and sis be like, hey, but don't get it twisted. Yeah, we from the South, so you know we bringing biscuits. Talking about full time, click, clack, go time. Been in the field, now it's fold down the goal line. Yeah, revolution means change by any means necessary. Malcolm in his thing, Marcus Garvey in his thing, Martin Luther in his thing. We gotta come together if you wanna make a change. Yeah.
They ain't ready to come together, Moody. Everybody's falling for the dead. They try to divide and conquer, and that's exactly what they do. Man, it's like there's no place for compassion when glory lies in savages. A generation entirely educated on alternative facts, and it's a shame we gotta rap, exchanging what you want for what we know you need. Hope floats in my flow like poetry, just so you know it's me, America. You act like you ain't noticing. Poets come in peace, but pardon me, see if we feel the need to speak on. Young blood dripping in the streets is a V. We are freedom of speech born. Gripping scenes, rewind. Here come the police, repeat more. Tragedy, here we go again. R.I.P. boy, America. I know you see what's happening. It's sad to see that mommies and daddies have been distracted systematically, and well, we've had about enough of that, to be honest with you. And the thing is, we're mommies and daddies now. We stand together. And I'm just telling you about that before we drop it on you.
They try to hit us hard, Jack Tatum, now these blacks back in civil like they're playing for the Raiders. They enslaved us and promised us 40 acres. The Alzheimer's what they done. Ronald Reagan put birds in our hands, 2 bushes, I'm saying. The pigs got a skillet and they're making us the bacon like Kevin Footloose. We 100 miles and running it, yet we got an attitude. Uncle said we mad at you. Coming from the motherland, my longitude and latitude got me in a place where I wanna start busting, but I'm tired of the fussing. Got us all cussing. Let's sit and make a plan till we come up with something, yeah.
That's what we have to do. We have to not act emotionally and think strategically. They will never be ready. Simon says, say what? Hey, take a look at us. Just 2 country bumpkins, tons of guns are causing up a ruckus. Spin the fussing, fighting, screaming. Till we all have equal peace. You see, the pie ain't worth eating if the feeling ain't sweet to me. We just gotta give these folks a little bit of truth. Me and Mr. Black on the track, it's unfamiliar to you, but this is the new America. Get used to it. The struggle's so real to give you something you can use through it. If you don't know what to be, don't be the problem. You part of the equation, man. How we gon' solve them? While they divide and conquer, be of service, lend some help. Pray for our nation. Shell can't do it by herself. Whatever you can to be of service, to be in addition to your community. Stand together, side by side. I'm telling you, the solidarity will blow their mind.
Hi, this is Vera. I'm hanging with M Love and Team Purple on Live Life in the Purple on the IBN Network. Positivity. It's a movement, baby.
What's up, beautifuls? Thank you so much for hanging in with us. If you're still with us, I appreciate it. If you've just tuned in, you missed a lot, but don't worry about it. We've got replays coming up on Mixcloud, and we are now syndicated to iHeartRadio. So you can just go to any of those mediums and type in Live Life in the Purple, and you will get past shows. So we appreciate you so much. You know, we do this every week for you. We were just talking off camera. Sometimes I wish we can keep the thing. We get so much talked about that needs to be on.
Well, I was just saying, M Love could probably do 6 or 7 hours.
Oh, yeah. Just infuse me with nutrients, and I can just keep going. But yeah, I'm so excited. Of course, we were talking about Wakanda earlier, the Love Speaks, and getting everybody's reflections on that. We've got 2 powerful women here in the studio, and I love what I do because another woman conceived of an idea in her brain and made it and manifested and made it happen. I have a place to come to you. Amazing. And so, you know, if I was going to do that, then I was going to do me as well. So I look for the best positive stories, the best positive energy, and invite these people to come out and sit and hang out with us for 2 hours. I don't know what you do to get your friends, but that's what I do to get mine. Don't judge. Yeah, so in the house today, our own lioness is Isna Tianti. She, so many things behind her name. Wow. Artist, entrepreneur, author, poet, spoken word, visual artist, designer, and motivational activist. I can check off on each one of those. She is amazing. We're going to hear more from her in just a moment. You heard a little while ago, we got introduced to Mimi Keys. Her serial social documentary, From Jim Crow to James Crow, very cleverly titled, is being shown this weekend at the Hudson Grill, 942 Peachtree Street, Atlanta. Doors open at 3:30. Meet and greet her, and then the film is going to begin showing at 4:30. A lot, as I said, going on. Now, the other thing I wanted to share with you is when offered an opportunity to do a show, I was just a person like you. I'm the lady behind you in Walmart that don't have her card out and don't know where her money is when it's my turn. That was me. I'm just somebody, that was out there, and I stumbled upon this platform. But what I was doing in my own personal time was going out and supporting live music. I love live music. I just discovered the poetry scene in Atlanta about 2012 and was out there meeting all these people. And I would say to myself, this is so great. I wish I could tell people about what I'm seeing here, because I was going out by myself. And then here I have a platform. So now I can inform you of what's happening in the community by people who look just like you, who are just amazing. And to get to the bigger screens, to get to the bigger audiences, we need you. So when you hear somebody on the show, we're introducing them to you so you can support them and just add them to the things that you do, the products that you buy, because they are amazing, and you get to listen to them and see how they ended up on my radar, which is always an interesting story. I wanted to ask, I had one more question for Mimi. We were talking, I got a couple of minutes, and I want to ask you about the process of getting something to film. I can conceive of a book. Mm-hmm. I got my Word document, and I can make my notes. Isn't has this beautiful book here in hardback form. We can conceive of that. But here we are meeting women who are making documentaries, which is a dream of mine. I would love to take stories. How do you do that? How do you get started?
Well, a lot of people think that with a documentary that you can just get a camera and go film people and make it happen. No. It is a lot that goes into it. First of all, you need to figure out what you want to talk about. And with my thing, since I'm doing historical stuff, you got to do all that research first before you go talk to people, because you want to know where you want to guide them and what you want to get out of them. And then after you interview everyone, you got to put it together in script format in order to have it, because you can't just have people just talking. You got to give a
people
narration.
Something to say, or you just guide them?
No, I guide them with, I ask questions. Guided questions to get them, not open-ended questions, to get them where, on the subject matter. Okay. And go, and from their stuff, if they bring out something that I didn't thought about, good. But if they get stuck, you have questions, to keep them going. I mean, and then after you do get the script, then you need to put all that footage together, dig through that footage and see where a person said that the best way for that is, to have it time coded. So you either need a program to have it time coded or send it to a transcriptionist to have it time coded. I have a video program where I stop and take my notes on the video, and it time codes it for me so I can go back and look and see what they say.
Finance, is it self-funded?
Beg, borrow, plead, but mostly it all comes out of my pocket, and I do everything that I can to make it happen. For this project, I've been driving Uber my butt off for every dime that I need to make it happen, because I didn't just interview people in Atlanta. I interviewed people Indiana, Kentucky, Mississippi, Alabama, and somewhere else I forgot. But those, because I went to Tuskegee, where they did the syphilis study.
Yes.
And I actually spoke to an expert on that on the bench at Tuskegee.
Wow.
So yeah. Wow. I mean, I have a donation page on Fundly, but like I said, if you're not a big name, people don't, jump on. I'm not Spike Lee, so people don't just throw money out there. But, people think sometimes that they don't have enough. I don't care if it's $2. Those $2 add up, But most, like I said, it's everything that I get, I put it up into this film. There's a lot of things that I don't do. I'm not sitting up here with a $500 weave or my nails done.
There's some things that's gonna have to go.
Because I cut it all
for your dream.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I cut it all out, and in order to make it happen.
I appreciate that, the realism of how this came about, because if we don't know, then we just don't know. So I appreciate you giving us that bit of information from behind the scenes. We've got getting ready to talk to Isna right now. Before we really get into her interview, I want to hear from her with the speak on it.
Ooh.
You know, this is a little mysterious Pandora's box of a bag. Reach
Like
in
I'm
there.
taking out a fortune cookie.
Yeah. And speak on it.
Life is a balance of holding on and letting go. Wow. I agree. And I will say that this is something that I've had to really take heed to. I just wrote a quote about this, about the yin and yang of life, and how I'm not more so into quantity of years I've known people, but the quality in which they bring me. That comes with friendships, family, the whole nine. And that's just where I am in my life. It's not about how long I've known you, because if there's no quality in that, there's no balance in that.
I love it. What a great place to stop. We do the Speak On It's because these guests are not just here because of who they are, what they do. They're here because somewhere along the line I bonded with their story or whatever, and there's so many sides to us, and I love to hear people just express themselves. So I thank you ladies for trusting us that this was not going to be something bad for you to give your opinion on. I'm going to take a brief pause and then come back with Queen Isna Tihanti.
Are you a natural woman who is tired of using over-the-counter products for your personal feminine needs? Do you need a product that fits perfectly into your natural holistic lifestyle? Yoni Gems support women's wellness with herbal womb detox gems. Our holistic vaginal inserts are created with ancient herbs used for feminine health, designed to cleanse the womb and return it to a balanced state. Find out more at yonigemsdetox.com. and ask about our specials. Herbal Yoni Detox. Holistic herbal gems for the health and vitality of your yoni.
Thank you, Marilyn. We're back with Isna Tihanti. She is a multi-talented artist and entrepreneur. She's an author, she's a poet, she's a spoken word, visual artist, designer, and motivational activist. I met Isna on the spoken word scene, but she started well before I did. Began at 21. Wow. Hand selected to present her spoken word to a room full of Crips and Bloods. Wow, who you claiming? I love that. Since moving to Atlanta, she has appeared in Hank Stewart's It Factor in 2015. Also, the late great actor and author and Tommy Ford, actor, author, and activist, selected Isna as the winner to feature a spoken word artist spoken word artist in the 2015 White Linen Affair, which is a big affair here in Atlanta. Also in 2016, Isna opened up for Dr. Umar Johnson twice. Wow. And also was chosen to open up for David Banner twice in 2017. A former runway model for Proline Revlon, selected as BET's Poster Girl 1991, crowned Miss African Times Los Angeles in 1992. Wow. But what I didn't know was that you lost your mom in a motor vehicle accident. And that tragedy, you said it changed you. It made you, you said that through poetry you share your mission of truth, love, culture, and light. And I love this last line: your mother spared her life so that you might inspire others through your testimony.
Yes.
Beautiful. Tell us about your testimony.
My testimony has been filled with a lot of tests and trials and tribulations. As a matter of fact, February 18th marked the 26th year that my mother transitioned. So the anniversary just passed, and I recall that date used to be so difficult for me to remember. But now it has become a day of celebration for me, because I realized that it wasn't by accident. The actual accident took place, or incident I call it, on January the 11th, 1992. And that is why I entitled my CD 111, because that was the first day that my mother's voice was silenced. But she was in a coma for 6 weeks until she passed February the 18th. And for so long, that happened to be 2 days before the BET fashion show that I was to model in Los Angeles. So that was the reasoning for her being in Los Angeles. She had never seen me model, and she was like, I'm coming to see my baby if I have to take off from work, and she did. But prior to that, she was never in a position to take off from work or school to come see me model. And so that was just like a very momentous moment for her and myself, because I was like,
so she did get to see you model?
No. The car incident took place on January the 11th. The fashion show was airing on BET January 13th. So from the motor vehicle accident, I came out with a burn across my neck and a fractured left ankle. So I wouldn't have been able to model anyway because I was in a cast. But what most people don't know, unless you've driven in a car with me, I have road rage as a result of that. And it is funny a little bit because I'm not an aggressor. I'm not the aggressor. Someone tried to come into our lane. And my mother, in just instinctual action, pulled the car to her side, but lost control. So we hit the center divider, but the individual that caused the accident kept going. Oh. So we don't even know who that individual is, and neither do they know that what they caused my life to be turned into a whole another situation. But
through poetry
is definitely my therapy. And I think a lot of times when people look at me, they think that she's trying to do everything. She thinks I've heard little comments, sidebars, and that's fine. It doesn't really bother me, but an idle mind is a devil's workshop. And so I know that there have been times where my mind was almost gone. Depression, oppression, trauma, dealing with post-traumatic stress. And a lot of people don't understand the effects of that. But it had me in a place where I didn't even want to be here. So I'm being very transparent. But the things you now see me do is because I'm not in that place of depression to the point where I'm going to allow it to press me to the point of not doing anything. So yes, I do artwork. It's therapy. I write poetry. It's therapy. I make tea. It's healthy, and it's therapy. So I'm not trying to win an award for, she does so much. No, I'm doing things because someone sacrificed for me to do. And that's my mother. So I'm not starstruck. That was the only person I was struck by their stardom. And I loved her to pieces. I still love her. I know she's with me, cheering me on, whether anyone else does. I'm not doing anything that I do for the accolades.
Thank you for sharing that.
Yes.
That is so deep. Wow.
I heard you say you make tea. I want others to know you don't just make tea. You create healthy products that you share and spread for others, and many other things too. You're quite the entrepreneur, right out of your trunk sometimes. And I have great respect for all that you do.
Oh yeah, she took us up in the middle of a parking lot one evening. She was like, "Girl, what you want? I got you."
I mean, she had tea, she had clothing. I mean, tell us what you do. What do you have a name for your business?
I do. It's Unlimited LLC, and it's my initials. I have kind of coined the phrase "it's" because my name is Isna Tianti Summerlin, and so I made that my branding. So it's ginger tea. It's unlimited to me because there is no limits. There's no limit to the sky. People always say, the sky's the limit. If you're in an airplane, you look up and there's more sky. And then there's more sky. And then eventually you're into the galaxies, which there's more space. So I don't put limitations on myself. I once did. I used to be the worst procrastinator. Oh my gosh. And then I realized procrastination is only a missed assignment to your destiny. It's delayed, and you're delaying it. So I no longer delay my journey to my destiny by procrastinating.
I love it. can you give us some poetry? Give us a piece.
Yes.
Thank you.
I'm going to do this piece that it kind of took off, and I wasn't really expecting that, but it's called Get It Girl. How you going to give somebody else the keys to your happiness? Ain't nobody ever going to give you 100% of their best, so give it and yourself a rest. And know that just because they can't shouldn't make you feel less. See, nobody's responsible for your mental, physical, or emotional health. You've got to take ownership of your own. Every seed won't produce a yielding just because it's sown. Baby girl, can't no man, family, or friend give you nothing to the end of this world. So take back your joy. Take back your peace. Because if you don't, you may as well be walking deceased. Got yourself feeling all invisible and divided because of broken vowels and syllables trying to make sense. Or while you give and gave everything to everyone else, yet feeling like you a thought past tense. Repent first by forgiving yourself for cheating on you, for holding unaccountable people to do what they say they'll do, because very few will hold their word or your hand. So understand, you must be your own backup plan. You're the only one with the master key to happiness door. That's what self-esteem, self-confidence, and self-fulfillment is called that for. It's all in you. So start by doing your part. Stop blocking the entrances of love to your own heart. Your heart attacks are caused by negative words and thoughts you keep. You're the only one who can choose what you eat. So let self-love and positive words become your grub. Stop pacifying yourself with all that crying. Hurt people are going to hurt, and liars will keep lying. Telling yourself nobody values your wealth. Saying don't nobody want me when you won't even choose yourself. So you need to feed your mind positive words that affirm. And watch out for snakes posing as worms. Discern real from fake, and you won't continually make decisions that get you burned. So you got to make people earn your love and respect. And if they don't give it, then in return they just won't get. See, you are enough. And you have everything you need inside. See, this was a message to myself as I looked in the mirror of my soul, which is where my real enemy resides.
Oh, Wakanda
forever!
Yes.
Love it.
Yes, that is so
That was so
beautiful.
purple perfect.
Yes, and I heard elements of my own poetry in that because we both. And this is the thing. I have the honor of this Sunday evening bringing her to the stage.
Yes.
This is amazing. I love what I do, and I love where I am. I'm going to go ahead and talk about the show for a second. 7 Sexy Soul Sisters spitting there. What? It's this Sunday evening, the 25th, at 7. This is Camila presents an all-female review. I have a real tough job because I have to bring these queens, every one of them, to the stage, and they're all bringing this same vibe.
But you set the tone.
I set the tone. Yes, I do. It's gonna be so. I am so excited.
You're
I'm
gonna
really,
be a
really
great
on fire.
host, she is. You're perfect.
Oh, I love it. I do it naturally. Anyway, 3570 Highway 138 Southeast. It's in Stockbridge, y'all. So we're gonna be in the South. We're gonna be in the South side of Atlanta. Y'all come out. They've got hookahs, drink specials, full menu. It's only a $7 cover. It's on Eventbrite. You've got to type in 7 Sexy Soul Sisters, and you can go ahead and get your ticket. And so Isn't It is going to be there. You also got a tour coming up or something.
Well, it says we're going on tour. We'll be. I guess we calling those things as being not as though they were.
We've got work to do.
Yes.
And I think that's kind of the theme of today. We've got work to do. Everybody. This room is filled with such talent in all levels of development and manifestation. It's either simmering, brewing, or here, and more is coming.
Yes.
I love it, and I love the spirit in which we're moving in. You ladies are just tremendous, and you've enriched our lives. Is there anything else we need to know? How to get this book, how to get your CD. You got to get your CD?
Yes. We have 111. As I mentioned, it is in honor of my mother's and I last day being able, well, her last day speaking, but mine inspired to speak. And So that's 111, and I'm going to find someone to help me do this download business because I really don't operate in that gifting, but we'll get that done. And then my book, Poetically Speaking, it's a book of quotes. And
because every day you put out a quote.
Yes.
I noticed them on Instagram and Facebook.
Yes, I feel that we have to be in a mode of inspiring one another, and it's enough of the hating and berating. I said it's time to start celebrating. We are not in competition with one another.
Isn't it tired?
It is.
Aren't you tired?
Oh
of
my
fighting?
gosh!
Relax and come to the purple, baby.
Yes.
It's not that we don't care. I don't care about that.
Yeah, I'm not going to do the negative stuff. I'm not going. It's enough of that. I don't watch the news. I've walked out of my house not knowing certain things have transpired and wondering why everybody's trying to hurry up and get groceries. And I'm like, what's going on? Like, girl, you didn't hear about the tornado or something? I'm like, I did not know. But I don't want to be in that flow of negative energy. So if it's going to be the last day of the world, I'm just going to walk into it happy. I'm going to walk into it doing whatever I was sent here to do. And that's why I tell people all the time, why are you worried about Trump? Why are you worried about Pence or anybody else? Do what you were sent here to do. We all have our own written plan when we came here. There was a vision just for us. It is up to us to fulfill it. I can't worry about what the sister's doing. She's doing what she was supposed to be doing. And I celebrate her in that. I celebrate you in what you're doing. And everyone on this board here, celebrate.
Yeah.
But I can't worry about what you're doing.
Right.
That's not my business. My business is to celebrate and support.
Exactly. And when our paths intersect, I always, like, if you tell me something, she told me, I'm trying to figure it out. How can I help? We're going to take a quick break. When we come back and wrap this all nice up with kente cloth. No? Okay. Okay.
If you're not listening to Word of Mind Radio, then you're seriously missing out. Hosts Trey Grizzy and Nine Ether share their perspectives on everything from social issues that affect our communities to relationships and trends that affect us all. Guaranteed to teach you something new. Word of Mind is engaging.
The only way that we can do this is do it together. So I love you.
We all love you for sharing.
Empowering.
Somebody dropped the ball somewhere because we want our kids to forget the struggles that we went through. But the struggles that we went through is what got us to where we are now.
And definitely entertaining.
You know, she probably got one of them wholesome names like Gertrude, but back in the day they called her Gertie. They called her
Dirty Gertie.
Dirty Gertie. Flirty Gertie. You know what I mean?
Y'all are horrible.
Yeah.
Tune in and learn up every Tuesday from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Standard Time, only on IBNX Radio.
All right. So you have been fed today. You have 2, 3, 4 projects to support. We've got 111. Very special to ISNA, that date, those numbers you've got Poetically Speaking. Very, very beautifully done. I need your social media, Mimi, so that people can follow you.
Mimi Omega Keys on Facebook, O Keys on Instagram and Twitter.
And how do you spell Keys? That's
Keeys.
Okay.
Yep.
Tell us about your FundMe page, and also tell us again how to find you on Amazon, how to find the film on Amazon.
Okay. On Monday, the film will be available. To preview, you can already find Domestic Seduction, but you can look it up under From Jim to James Crow, or up under my name, Omega, Omegia, and Keeys. Just type it in on Amazon. If you have Amazon Prime, you can watch it for free, and if you don't, you can watch it for $1.99.
Wow, $1.99 for all of your hard work. Thank you so much for coming. I appreciate you so much. Thank you for joining us. Come back again.
Thank you.
Shout out to Diamond
We'll
Enterprises. Queen ISNA.
Yes.
I will be calling you to the stage on Sunday.
I'm so excited.
Oh, let me tell you who else is going to be with us. Felicity Love. If y'all don't know about Felicity, I told y'all last week about Felicity. Don't look directly into those beautiful eyes. You will never be the same.
She was with us.
She was with
Yes.
us. You looked.
Did
Yeah,
you?
I looked. I can't help it. Karis Lovechild, Rare Epiphany. Of course, ISNA. Kia Nicole is a beautiful soul out of Jacksonville, Florida. We're going to close with her song, Love Is All We Need. So that is someone else you need to support. Kia Nicole, music on everything. get that single. Shades of Essence is a trio of three beautiful sisters singing, and so we're going to enjoy that. Closing, Keith Turner, she's MC Light, Queen Latifah, all of them rolled up together in a nice clap.
We had her on
Fire.
the show.
Yeah.
Remarkable
Fire.
female rapper. Humble and strong at the same time.
Exactly. Beautiful. And Camila, of course, will be closing us out, hosted by your girl, M. Love. So, yeah, we've got a lot for you. We've got, at the same time going on, we got a big old pot of gumbo. Catherine over here is going to be doing her comedic, not debut.
No,
not debut.
just showcase.
Showcase.
Showcase at the Punchline on Sunday.
Okay. Maybe if she clean it up, we can get on the show with it.
No. It's more fun that way, right?
I love it. And Marilyn, what you up to? What you doing?
What am I doing this weekend? All of that stuff.
Yeah, I know. Marilyn, along with myself and two other, only one, and your sister, RPDC, Purple Door Creations, and we are just about helping each other find our way. Whatever our projects are, we're all in there together, and we did this, and I love it. We do all of this. Of course, IBNX, thank you Behind the Glass, Missing Link. Some of our show members are not present. Of course, Only One Tipper, we heard from him. Rebel Queen is not here today. Shout out also to Sean Bailey. I hope he's off the sick and infirm shut-in list. He had the flu going on. We'll contact him. Of course, Rodney Williams, he did his History Speaks. Shout out to Rodney. He actually was here Sunday for DFD, a show on Sunday. So he was here. So we'll get him in Atlanta for Live Life in the Purple as well. So all of this, folks, we bring to you every week, every Tuesday. This is where the positivity is on IBNX. And catch us out and about. Support us. Sunday.
Yeah.
Sunday.
It's going to be awesome.
Sunday. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
Sunday. But this won't be our last gathering. When folks get in my trajectory, they we'll see each other again. So we're going to close out with Love Is All We Need, Kia Nicole. And we thank you so much. We do this every week. Why? Positivity. It's a movement, baby.
Hey.
Seems like the perfect time to gather around the ones that love you, whether it's your family or the special one you want to see. All of the smiling faces, feel all the warm embraces, and all the joy that they bring. Nothing else is satisfying. From the beginning to the end of each year, each moment that we share should be filled with cheer. It doesn't take a holiday to bring us near, to feel the love, 'cause it's all we need is right here, right here. Love is what we need, nothing else completes. Complete. Love is what we need, nothing else compares. Love is what we need, nothing else completes in this life. This life. Don't wanna spend time on the hypothetically, like if you weren't here, tell me where would I be? Since we've got some time, let's enjoy the company, 'cause all the love we need is right here, right here. Love is what we need, nothing else complete, nothing else complete. Love is what we need, nothing else compares. Doesn't compare. Love is what we need, nothing else complete in this life, this life. Seems like the perfect time to understand the things that love will do. We've got to say it with our actions. Let it be the reason for all we do. Love covers, it erases, fills the void and replaces. With real love, there's no mistaking. Nothing else is satisfying.
Hi, this is your girl Camila. I am hanging with M Love and Team Purple on Live Life in the Purple on the IBNXradio.com network. Positivity, it's a movement, baby.
Yeah. Tidbit. Yeah. Did you enjoy the show? We appreciate y'all tuning in again. Yeah. And again. Yeah. And again. Yeah. Let's go. I hope love touched your soul and gave you more. We live every Tuesday from 2 to 4. Led by a strong black woman, Team Purple. A long time coming. Patience is a virtue. The best show, the best guests, the best topics. IBNX Radio, the best rocket. Rock solid, a lot of knowledge. Pay homage. Live life in the purple, taking off like a rocket. Only one. Yeah. Tidbit.
IBNX Radio.